is officially February, so that means happy Valentine's. I always look forward to this month. I just think it is absolutely adorable that we have a month filled and specifically planned for love. I absolutely love it. I just always look forward to this month. There's just so many exciting things. There's Valentine's, me and my boyfriend's anniversary, it's my brother's birthday. There's just always so many exciting things for February, and I always look forward to it. And a great way to start the month is to pick out my TBR prompt reads. My TBR is to pick out TBR prompts for my reads. If this is one of your first time watching these videos, then let me quickly explain. In this jar, I have specific book prompts, and whatever one I pick up at random, I have to match a book to that prompt. So for example, if I get a prompt that's a book from an author that I've never read before, I have to pick out a book from my bookshelves from an author that I've never read before. It's pretty self-explanatory. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to be picking out 4 prompts. It's the most doable for me. I typically read 4 books a month, so why not do that? I added so many new ones this morning, so I'm very curious if I'm going to be getting any of them today. Let's see. Okay. The very first prompt for February is a sapphic romance. Okay, that's perfect because I am luckily in the mood to read romance in the month of love. The book that I picked out is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I only have 2 sapphic romance books, and one of them is a Christmas one. So the only option that I have, but I'm not mad about it at all, is One Last Stop. I have had this on my TBR for years. I mean, literally probably 3 years at this point. What is extremely exciting about this book, not only is it sapphic, not only does it look like we're based in the city, it also has time travel in it. So I just quickly read the synopsis. Guys, I honestly, now that I read the synopsis, I'm like, how have I not read this? This sounds so entertaining. We are following August, who is a 23-year-old who just moves to New York City, and she's basically, she doesn't have any hope. She doesn't think like love exists. It literally says she thinks that magic and cinematic love stories don't exist. And she is a waitress at a 24-hour pancake diner. She lives with really weird roommates, and she just can't think of any way that her like mundane life can have some cinematic love story. And she always has to take the train to go to work, so that she literally does not expect to run into Jane, our other FMC, and she is immediately starstruck and has a crush on this Jane. Not only does Jane just look like an old school punk rocker, she's literally displaced in time from the 1970s. So our main character, August, is the farthest thing from a hopeless romantic, literally has no hope for love, and she immediately runs into Jane, but something is off. She realizes that Jane isn't even from this time. She's from the 1970s, and it's all because of this train having time travel. That sounds absolutely amazing. I love that that was the first prompt because I've had this book on my TBR for so long, and like motivated me to have it closer onto my immediate TBR than it was before. Okay, now to the second prompt. Let's pick the top one. Book title, same as first letter of name. This is a very exciting prompt. Okay, so I'm gonna be looking on my shelf for a book that starts with the letter Y. And this is also a little tricky because I want to pick a book that I'm in the mood to read, but it has to be with the letter Y in the beginning. Why? That's actually gonna be really, really hard. I have all the books that are on my TBR in my notes because I like to keep track of all of them, and I'm just gonna search my notes. Okay, so there's a lot of books with Y in the title. There's one. There's 2. Oh, thank God. Okay, I didn't want to just have one choice. You Deserve Each Other and Yoke. Which one to pick? Which one to pick? So we got a romance, which is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle. I literally bought this book because Destiny Sidwell said it was like her favorite romance book, and I really trust her reviews for books. And then we also have Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. And this is a book that I've been putting off because it's about sister loss. I have 3 sisters that I love more than life, and I know this book is going to destroy me and make me just very sad, and that's why I bought it. And I did look multiple times on my Libby app in January to see if it was available. This has been in the back of my mind. I'll have to show you this too. Look at how they link hands on the spine. How adorable is that? My brain is thinking. I feel very confident in my choice. It's going to be Yoke. This is a very heavy book, but I want to read it. So our 2 main characters are Jane and June, and they are nothing alike. They're opposites. June is a 30-year-old with a classic firstborn narc with a vile finance job in a soulless apartment. And then we have Jane, on the other hand, who is an emotionally stunted, self-obsessed crybaby who lives in Qualler, has a rigorous taste in men, and needs to get her ass to class. June's words. They're complete opposites. One is responsible and has her life together. The other one is the quite opposite, needs help getting her life together. Once thick as thieves, these sisters who moved from Sal to San Antonio and finally New York don't want anything to do with each other until June gets cancer. June gets cancer and Jane becomes the only one who can help her. Flung together by sickness and bound by family secrets, will the sisters learn more about themselves and each other than they were willing to confront? We're adding this. We're adding this onto my February TBR. I am feeling very brave right now that I want to read a book that's going to rip out my heart, but I want to do it. I'm choosing pain over a happy little romance. I mean, assuming this is happy romance. Now to the 3rd prompt. A book based in college. I already know exactly what book. One moment. It is Daydream by Hannah Grace. I'm so excited about this because I literally put this book on hold from the Libby app this morning. I thought about picking this book up today and I was like, that's gonna be a perfect book to read during the Valentines just because it's romance. And I also, this is the last book in the Maple Hill series that I need to finish, and I was like, maybe I can do a reading vlog with finishing books that I'm in the series of. Don't hold me accountable to that, but I was brainstorming videos for this month and this book popped into my head. I was in the mood to pick this book up and here we are, a book based in college. This is absolutely perfect. This works out wonderfully. I'm not gonna go ahead and read the synopsis because I have with the other two and I don't want this to be boring, but I will tell you a little bit of what I know because Steph Bohr talked about this book. She said that it had great anxiety or just like mental health representation. For example, I think our main character, Henry, has really bad anxiety to the point where he has a hard time replying to people. It takes him days. This is the way that I understood it from how Steph Bohr was explaining it, that he just has an anxiety and there's times where he just has, or always has a hard time replying to people, because she was saying she has that problem where she has a hard time replying to emails, replying to text messages. I am the same way and I have guilt about it every single day, or every day that I have a text message that I haven't replied to. I have guilt and I can't get myself to do it. I don't know if it's anxiety, I don't know if it's procrastination, I don't know what it is. So when I heard Steph Bohr talk about it being a part of mental health and how the book represents that, I was like, I want to read that book even more because then I'll feel seen. That's one thing that I know about this book, is it has really good mental health representations for very niche things that people deal with, like not replying to people quickly. And as you can tell from the cover, there is a bookstore. So I know that it's based in a bookstore, which how lovely is that? And both our characters are in college. I'm very excited to go back into this world. I have enjoyed the series quite a lot. It hasn't been like a 5-star series for me, but I do have high hopes for this one, and I think this one might be my favorite. Let's cross our fingers on that. I hope it is. And I might be biased just because the cover is absolutely adorable, but I mean, the book is based in a library or a bookstore. Come on, it already gets a star because of that. Now to our last prompt, our 4th one. Let's see what this one is. Reading a book with sprayed edges. This is so very exciting. A book with sprayed edges. I have so many options, so let's see. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm like so eager to see what books. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. The book that I picked is Powerless by Elsie Silver, and give a moment to those beautiful sprayed edges. Again, I thought about picking this book up today. Seriously, I was like, I am in the mood to read romance books, and I was looking at my bookshelves this morning and I was like, which ones am I in the mood to read? And I was thinking of Part of Your World, I was thinking of Powerless, I was thinking of Daydream, and I was thinking of Things We Left Behind. There were so many romance books that were just piquing my interest today. So when I was like, okay, later today when I do the TBR prompt, I hope that I can pick out a few of the books that I have in mind with the TBR prompt jar. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in this book there is a little mini hockey player, so that means our MMC is a hockey player. First off, if you haven't read the series, I highly recommend for you to read Flawless and Heartless. Those books are amazing. Heartless is a 5-star read for me. Adore that series so much. I'm so excited to continue the series and to read the 3rd one. So the majority of the series is based about the 3 brothers. They also have a 4th sibling, it's a sister. But I think the books are the 3 brothers, the dad, and then the friend, which this one's about. They have mentioned him numerous times, and they mentioned him to be literally a brother to them because they grew up together. He's pretty much family. And he is a professional hockey player, and he is extremely shy and reserved and like to himself. At least that's how I remember him in the 2 first books. Guys, look at what it says. 2 childhood best friends. I love best friends to lovers. That trope is amazing. It might be one of my favorites, and I don't read that many best friends to lovers, and I should. Okay, we already got distracted. 2 broken hearts, 1 impromptu road trip to get away from everything. That's all I'm gonna read because I don't want to even read the synopsis with this one. I just want to get into it. My cheeks literally hurt from smiling. I am so excited. I have been wanting to continue the series. This book in specific was on my like 10 books that I want to read in 2025 list. I'm so excited. This worked out perfectly. I didn't do this on purpose, but look at that stack. Oh, she's pretty. A purple stack. I have a really good list here. I am very happy with the books that I picked out. I have books in this list that I literally thought about picking up this morning. I have a book that I thought about picking up last month. I have a book that I haven't even thought about picking up, and all of a sudden I am so very excited, and that's what I love about the TBR jar, because it'll do that. Also, comment down below what books are on your February TBR. That's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!